YouTube? In today's video, we're going head to head with the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic versus the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Now this is the 47mm in that beautiful stainless steel silver, nice brush with the shiny stainless steel versus that titanium Galaxy Watch 5 Pro with the mega battery. Now, there's a decision to be made because a lot of people are trying to decide, do I spend more for the newer Watch 6 Classic and take a hit in certain areas, or do I spend a little bit less, sacrifice a couple things with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro? So I'm gonna help you guys make that decision, also help you guys understand what the differences truly are between these two smartwatches. It's your smartwatch guru, let's get into it. All right, first place to start is design. These two have a very different design. Now the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro has a nice, chunky, thick design, but so does the Watch 6 Classic, we'll get there. But it's made out of titanium, which means this device is super light in comparison to the stainless steel on the Watch 6 Classic. So much lighter that this is a 46.5 grams versus a massive 59 grams with the Watch 6 Classic. Now, another difference or design separator is the fact that this uses the digital crown, right? So as you guys can see, hold on. This is why the digital crown is not my favorite. I'm pretty sure over time, people who opt in for the Watch 5 Pro will become, I guess, accustomed to the digital. But for me, the physical turn bezel on the Watch 6 Classic is without a doubt the superior or the more favorable option of using the turn bezel. It's also the most familiar since I've had every single Galaxy watch and they've typically had this until recently. Now, both of these have the same military standard rating, so there's no difference there. They both have the same IP68 water resistance, no difference there. They both have a lot of the same sensors available within them. Some sensors are available in certain countries, some aren't. So just, do your research in that sense. Honestly, from a design standpoint, the biggest difference between these two is battery size. We'll get there in a second. Let's continue on. Now, when we get into the OLED panels on these, the difference is the brand new Watch 6 Classic has a 1.5 inch AMOLED display, 480 by 480 with a 453 PPI density versus the 1.4 inch 450 by 450 with a 321 PPI density. So believe it or not, the OLED panel on the Watch 6 Classic has a denser PPI, meaning it's gonna yield a better OLED picture. And I can tell you this, the image of this OLED panel is so pristine, it's so prestigious, it's so clean, crisp, and it's brighter than ever. That's another thing with the max brightness of 2000 nits. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So while these have a lot of the same similarities in the display with the sapphire crystal and the always on display and so forth, technically the Watch 6 Classic's panel is slightly larger and slightly better. Actually, not slightly, it's a bit better. Let's just be real and honest. You're technically gonna get a better picture on the Watch 6 Classic versus the Watch 5 Pro, but I can see the Watch 5 Pro just as well. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me put the same watch face on here. Hold on, let me put the same watch face. I think I got it loaded on here, I do. If you guys are wondering how I got these watch faces on here, I have a video. There'll be a link down in the description below, or I had a little pop-up come up, so go check that out. Boom, so here you have it, the exact same watch face on both of these watches. Which one looks better? All right, now that the display is out the way, let's talk about platform, because the platform is different between these two. And I'm gonna tell you this, I just switched over the Watch 5 Pro to a different phone, and I had to erase everything and start over from scratch. That's something due to platform. Let me explain. So between these two, the Watch 6 Classic now has Android Wear OS 4 with One UI Watch 5. But the Watch 5 Pro only has Android Wear OS 3.5 with One UI Watch 4.5. And that explains the reason why I wasn't able to switch my watch to a different phone without losing all of my information. And that's something that's new with the Watch 6 and the Watch 6 Classic. So the latest models have the latest software, which has that convenience. So keep that in mind. If you switch your watch between phones a lot, or if you want, when you go to upgrade your device, not to lose all of your information, have to start over from scratch, or, you can do the cloud backups on Samsung Cloud and so forth, if you have enough space and things like that. But at the end of the day, I just appreciate the new platform with the Watch 6 Classic being able to switch the phones and devices without losing the information or my watch faces that's on there. Super clutch. Now, the processing is also different. The Exynos 930 5 nanometer is on the Watch 6 Classic, which has a dual core 1.4 gigahertz Cortex 855 versus the Exynos W920, which is on here. It's a 5 nanometer platform, but this is only a dual core 1.18 gigahertz Cortex 855. So in essence, I guess you can say that the new chip is just an overclocked, higher performing chip with a bit more efficiency baked into it, but that matters, especially when you increase the screen size and turn up the brightness, if you get what I mean. But nevertheless, there's still that category that's gonna be that big separator for some, and for some, not so much. So the next area of discussion is just gonna be storage. It's exactly the same. You got 16 gigabytes of storage and 2 gigabytes of RAM on a Watch 6 Classic versus 1.5 gigabytes of RAM on a Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. So there is an improvement in the RAM capacity going into the Watch 6 Classic. Now, in wireless connectivity between the two, you got Bluetooth 5.3 versus Bluetooth 5.2 on the Watch 5 Pro. It may matter to you, it may not, but at the end of the day, you do have a later Bluetooth technology with the Watch 6 Classic. Let's talk about it. The most controversial topic in between the two that's always gonna be the debate or argument is gonna be in the area of battery. Now, between these two, the battery sizing is quite different because the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which is the new king of battery in the Galaxy Watch hemisphere, has a 590 milliamp hour battery versus the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic's 47 millimeter, which comes with the 425 milliamp hour battery. So what does this mean? Essentially, it comes down to you from an everyday user of a Galaxy Watch or a smartwatch. What do you want in your battery charging patterns? Because essentially with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, this is the guaranteed multi-day, 2.5 to 3, and you can go even further than that depending on how conservative you are about certain features and how you use your device. But the Galaxy Watch 4, why did I say Watch 4? Boy, I'm going back in time. I'm sorry. You guys, listen, I got the Watch 4 Classic right here. With the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, you're going into that, for me, it's been 2 days of battery life. For others, it could be more and longer. And for some, or like the heavy users, they're just gonna have to charge this every single day. Now me, personally, if a watch can get me through a day, and if I forget to charge it, still get me through some of that other day, or possibly through that entire day, I deem that smartwatch battery as a good smartwatch battery. Now with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, I won't lie, this thing is so forgiving in the area of battery that like literally I can go so many days. It was to the point to where I can be like irresponsible about charging my device and not pay the penalty. If you turn off always on display and become a little bit more conservative, you can stretch the battery. For those out there complaining about the Watch 6 Classic's battery life, I would consider notification optimization, only getting and turning on notifications from apps that matter most to you and that should be giving you notifications, not the pointless ones, if you understand what I'm saying. Maybe turning off always on display, lowering your screen brightness, things like that. There's so many different areas you can go into to extend battery. And the same thing goes with the Watch 5 Pro. To get that maximum crazy battery life, you do the same adjustments. But at the end of the day, it's obvious that the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is the battery king in this discussion between the two. But are you willing to give up the look, that classic style of the classic body and that physical turn bezel just for a couple days of battery? For me personally, I prefer this on my wrist. This is the look and this is the swag that I'm going for when I'm out with a smartwatch and I wanna, you know, put that on, you feel me? This is just titanium to be titanium. But from a look and a visual standpoint, the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, for me personally, it just doesn't do it. But this right here, especially after you do a third-party aftermarket band like this, man. So essentially it just comes down to what battery life will yield the best to your everyday usage. Which brings us to the next topic of discussion, user experience. And that's honestly what matters most. Believe it or not, yes, the way a smartwatch looks, this is an accessory. This is what you wear. This goes along with your, your whole little swag and your stilo. How a smartwatch looks can add to your user experience, which is where the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic comes in for me from a visual standpoint in between the two. But that aside, let me start here with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, the battery king. This thing is light for its size and its chunk. Now I got the all black one. Black is supposed to be slimming, but you know, you can tell this thing is beefy. There are those areas where people get into accuracy and counts, biometrics and things like that to a, you know, specific scientific level. I'm not into that. I'm just an everyday smartwatch user. I'm in it for the notifications, the convenience, and the connectivity to my smartphone to keep me from having to use my smartphone as much or being able to like handle things at the wrist. That's more or less my use case with smartwatches. I don't know, I just don't work out in smartwatches. I'm not a fan of the digital crown. That was a, you know, mark off for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of the look. That was another ding for me. And I said it in all of my reviews from before, but if this fits you and this is what you like, and if you wanna save money and go this route, I see nothing stopping you from doing that. It's a great smartwatch to own and enjoy. Now, to the 47mm Watch 6 Classic, the king is back, baby. This is the king of the smartwatches in the Galaxy hemisphere and in the Android platform by far. Shout out to Samsung and Google coming together, mixing their platforms. Some people love it, some people don't. I get it. There were things in Tizen that I understand and I miss. Being able to connect, you know, a Tizen Galaxy Watch to an iPhone is gone though with this Wear OS. So, you know, I get it. It was a chess move. I see you, Samsung and Google, working together. Again, adding into my user experience from a look standpoint, that classic look, this pleases me. This is an accessory. Like I said, it's something that you wear. Having a physical bezel back, like I love the physical bezel. W for me. The AMOLED panel on here is brighter and crisper. It's a better visual experience on the Watch 6 Classic. I might be biased in this one because, I mean, come on, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I made my bias clear, okay? Battery life on here, no, it's not like here, but it's enough for me. Again, I'm getting 2 days. That's all I need. I can charge it, I can take it off. I don't wear my watch throughout the night, so I'm getting that standby time. That's what matters to me too, is standby time. So if I can take it off, come back the next day, get back to it, and I'm still cooking, that's a W in my book for battery life with the Watch 6 Classic. The look, throw these watch faces on there. You know what I mean? I'm getting all my notifications like I would like to. I'm loving the new connectivity with the new Wear OS edition and the new Watch One UI setup. I like it. Like a lot of things are adding up to the user experience that makes me appreciate the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic so much more than the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. But if you're all about battery, I mean, it's no question where you go. But if you like that classic look and that swag, Galaxy Watch 6 Classic all day. Oh, and while you over there smashing the subscribe button and like button right now, I'm just giving you a sneak peek of some of the watch faces you could get. If you want to check that out, I'll try to link the video at the end for you guys to learn how to put this on your watch too.
It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those eyes. Got up and I beat those eyes. It's understood. It was always me versus me. It was never me versus you. And now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part. Wake up and I do my job. Just how I should.